Okay, so I've made it a point to make a video every day. I've committed myself to, like, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes. And in the past, I wasn't really like the best person with following through on what I said I was going to do. But this is important to not other people, but to myself. So sometimes there's distractions. I feel like we all have like a lot of distractions in our life. I have the fountain in the background, which is amazing. I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. You can definitely hear it in the audio. I'm working on fixing that. And then we have to factor in other people. Yeah, I said it, other people. Yes, there are other people walking Earth with you. There are other beings here with you, having their own individual experience. Whether or not you're aware of it, they're there. Okay? I don't normally know what I'm going to say right when I sit down, so I just kind of let whatever the moment brings, open my mouth and speak. Some people might resonate with one thing I say one day, and then the next day be like, oh, that was shit. So if I made you happy yesterday and not today, guess what? I can't please everybody. So I wanted to ask for anyone who's watching and myself, because I remember this being a part of who I was. Are you aware that you are thinking? I'm just going to sit with that for a second. You're thinking. Okay, when I started to go inward and monitor the fact that I was thinking, I started to get a little bit like, what's going on? And then I started realizing that I wasn't in as much control of my thoughts as I wanted to be. Then I started to implement ways to make sure that I was the witnessing presence of the thoughts and not attaching to all of them. So if you're somebody who used to be somebody like me, who's constantly thinking and may not even be aware of the fact that you're thinking, this just in, you're thinking, okay? You're always usually thinking. So even when I have this conversation right now, inside your mind, you're having a conversation. You're interpreting what I'm saying. You're making acute judgments, solid judgments. You have opinions, you know. Oh, she's right. No, she's wrong. Oh, I don't do that. Oh, I do that. You're just thinking, okay? The conversation that you hear the loudest is the one inside of your head, all right? Again, the conversation that you hear the loudest is the one inside of your head. So if you're constantly thinking and you're just having this conversation inside of your head, do you ever really hear what other people are trying to tell you? Or are you just so quick and ready for like the next thing? Like, for example, you're in the middle of having a conversation. A conversation goes both ways. It involves listening and comprehending. So some people think, oh, they listen. It's like, yeah, but did you comprehend it? Did you get what I said? Or were you just so busy waiting to fill in the small space that was going to get, or you do interrupt somebody, because I love interrupters, you know, you just got to say it because you just can't control yourself. I used to be like that. I still sometimes have to jump in. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm perfect, because I'm not, nor would I want to be. Then probably nobody would like me because they'd be like, oh, she's too perfect. So, you know, it's like, just let that middle place. So if you're sitting there and someone's having a conversation with you and they say something and you hear just this thought that you want to respond with it, and then they carry on for like another 50 seconds, and you've attached that thought for so long of what you wanted to say, you missed about 50 seconds of what that person was saying because you were so busy holding on to that one thought that you needed to say, because you didn't listen to understand, you listened to respond. You were listening because you just wanted to respond, like, ooh. But I want to bring into like awareness that you can just listen. Like, listening can be a really great tool. Just listen. And not even necessarily listen to what the other person is saying or what I'm saying right now. I don't even want you to listen to what I'm saying right now. I want you to listen to the conversation you are having with yourself. The one that's up here. What's being said right now? I really would love for people to comment. If you're rude, I don't need you to comment, because I was always taught that if you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say anything at all. Yeah, I'll crack jokes and things, but if it's not funny and the other person's not laughing, don't be an asshole. Yeah, I said it. Don't be an asshole. No one likes that. Don't sit behind your keyboard and talk shit, and it's something that you won't say to someone's face, okay? So if you want to say something kind and deliver a nice message, absolutely, I would love to read your comments. If not, please don't send them my way. I'm up with the good vibes. So I want to know the conversation that's going on between yourself and yourself. Like, what are you saying when you're watching something? And I want you to start monitoring that. Like, from this moment now, moving forward, I want you to start listening to your own conversation. And if you have a thought that comes in and then all of a sudden you're like, oh man, I have wicked anxiety, I'm freaking out. Well, that's because the thought that you had isn't safe, it's not favorable. So take it away, pick something else to replace it with. Again, if you can't find a way to replace your thoughts, message me, call me, I don't know, we'll figure it out. I'm here, it's what I do. I've literally devoted my being to having other people listen to the conversations I have with myself. I'm having a conversation right here in front of a camera with, you guessed it, myself. The self that I've created, who I say, oh, my name's Angela, or, you know, the big long story that I tell sometimes that's pretty much been altered because my past is only told right now, and my future is only imagined right now, and the past and the future don't actually exist at all. No, they don't. You just think about them now, and the time's always now. So right now, I'm taking my time to be me and to tell you that you are having a conversation inside of your head. Yep. And some people are like, yeah, Angela, I know I'm thinking. Yeah, I get that you might know you're thinking, but I want you to start monitoring what your thoughts actually are, because they're not your thoughts. You've just thought them over and over again. The definition of a belief is just repeating the same thought over and over and over and over again, okay? And then you're like, oh, I believe this and I believe that. Well, what if you didn't? What if you changed it? Would it not be your belief anymore? For me, I like to make it very clear to people that whoever I was yesterday does not mean that's who I'm going to be today, okay? I am only who I am in a moment. I am a choice. I am patient or impatient. I am either happy or angry. You know, there's a few other emotions that fall in place, but every moment for me is a choice. Who do you want to be in this moment, Angela? Oh, I think I'm going to be patient. Oh, yeah? Really? Yeah, right now I am. But in the next, half an hour, some shit could happen, and I'm not patient anymore. I'm an impatient, feisty little goo kitty, okay? And I'm just, running amok, and I'm losing it. But the thing is that the future, which will arise in the next present now moment, will give me an opportunity to either be patient or impatient. Neither or really matter. It's just your own perception on what you thought about yourself, your own judgment, or you justify why it was okay that you were impatient, or you justify why it's okay that you got angry, justifying, and then you give yourself some validating points and you make it all clear to yourself why it's okay that you were who you were, or you beat the shit out of yourself and you're like, oh, why did I do that? I shouldn't have got so angry, and then you feel bad, and then you sit there and feel bad about feeling angry, and then you're feeling all types of different kinds of shit, when if you just told yourself, hey, it's okay. You know what I did? I remembered that the future is going to give me another opportunity to be that in which I want to be. So you always have choice. The choice is going to come along. It's going to come along all day long, if you're measuring time in a sense where there's days, but we won't get into that. But you're always going to have an opportunity. And it's fantastic because there actually is just opportunity all around you to be who you want to be, to choose who you want to be, to create the ideal version of you. So, from this moment moving on, if you watch this, which I'm loving that you did, please listen to what the conversation inside of you is telling you. Listen, and don't just listen to the words, listen to the way it makes you feel. All right? That's what I want you to do for now. All right? I want you to enjoy the journey, and I want you to comment, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.